Okay, this is part 2 of how to create a bathroom in Revit. We're also going to reference a couple things that translate into kitchen design as well. So what we've done so far is we've thrown in a water closet or a toilet and a bathtub, but we still need the sink, the lavatory. So we're going to throw in a sink that's going to be sitting on top of a sink base cabinet. It's going to have a countertop, and we're going to throw in the actual sink itself. And notice how all these items are up against like the same edge of the same wall. That's because we're using the same plumbing wall here. Couple things to just note. All right, we can't make our sink center less than 14 inches from the wall, and it can't be from its edge to another fixture less than 2 inches. So we can go more than that. We just can't go less. So 14 and 2 is what we're going to try and remember here. Going into our Revit file, here's our plumbing wall. Our sink's going to be right up against that. And we're going to throw that in right here. So we need to search for a base cabinet to start. So I'm going to go to Insert, Load Family. And from here, we're going to kind of back out of this to just US Imperial files. And our cabinets are under Casework. So it looks like I'm in like reverse order here. Casework, double click. Wall cabinets, tall cabinets, shelving, countertops, base cabinets. So notice we're also going to come here for countertops. Wall cabinets are like the upper cabinets, and we're going to find those for like when we do our kitchen. We might even find a medicine cabinet in here for the bathroom. So I'm going to go to base cabinet, double click. There's a single door. We won't want, well, we might want some of those. Vanity would be like where a sink would go and fit in. So we could choose a base cabinet that would work for us. A lot of these ones that are just base ones, these all work for kitchens very well. When it says vanity, it's designed for like a sink to be in it. This one would be good for a double vanity because it's pretty wide. This one's really nice, I think, because it's going to have a false drawer here for our plumbing. The ones that have a drawer on top, I would not use that because this drawer won't actually be functional because all the plumbing's going to be in the way and the sink's going to be dropped in there. So that one wouldn't really work very well. This one could work. I'm going to do the one that says sink unit on it because it's going to be more typical for what we want. I'm going to say open on that. Now it doesn't come up on my cursor, so we have to go down to our project browser under families here, and it was under casework, vanity. We're going to expand that, and now we get to choose a wide variety of different lengths and widths. So I'm going to choose the 24-inch one. I'm going to drag, and those are usually around like 21 inches deep for a bathroom. And so we can double check its dimensions. And I'm going to just throw this guy kind of in the middle here, giving a little bit of room on the side. When I click, that's usually where the back of the cabinets is, and then the front of the cabinet usually is not by the mouse cursor. So that will kind of help give you a preview. Notice it's kind of hard to tell where the front is when you're just looking at it like this. If we want to go into like a 3D mode to just double check, I'm going to click on this wall and then hide this wall right here so we can see it. And notice that held true to what I was saying, right? Your mouse clicks on where the back of that cabinet is going to be. So now that we have this, this cabinet, its properties we need to pay attention to for when we do the countertop. Its height is 2'5" Okay, so when I make my countertop, I want to place it at that height, or I can change this. Oftentimes now, a lot of cabinets for bathrooms are at countertop height for a kitchen. They call it comfort height, so 34.5 inches is the height of that. So we're going to adjust this to be 34.5 tall, and we're going to see if it messes up this model or not. We're going to just say apply, and let's see if it, okay, so everything adjusted with it, like the doors and all that good stuff. So I'm happy with how that turned out, so I'm going to say okay. So we've kind of like stretched it up, okay, to a comfort height cabinet, 34.5, and then our countertop will start at 34.5 tall and then go up 1.5 inches. So we have that placed. Let's then go back to our floor plan, so level 1. And right inside here, we're going to put in a countertop. So I'm going to go to Insert, Load Family. It's under Casework, so I'm just going to expand up to Casework. Countertops, double click. We have ones with pre-cut holes for the sink, so we like that. Round holes and square holes. Maybe we're going to do a round sink, so let's choose that. This one already has a backsplash on it. There are ones without backsplashes on it, ones just with sinkholes cut in, without sinkholes cut in. So you have options. And then you can modify these after you place them. This just kind of gives you a head start on where you want to be. So I'm going to say vanity countertop with a round sinkhole and say open. It doesn't pop up near my mouse, so we have to search for it. Casework, vanity countertop, 24-inch depth, drag and drop. Go ahead and place that in. I'm just going to place this pretty much anywhere I want. Hit escape a couple times. We're going to go and just kind of center that sinkhole with the cabinet, and then with these little grip edits I can go and drag it tight, or I can come off a couple inches. If I wanted to run this into the wall I could, or if I wanted to kind of keep it off the wall I can. You can always add cabinets and customize their widths with the properties. If I want to throw in another base cabinet right under here, maybe for like a little drawer pull out to put a hair dryer, straightener, makeup, whatever you wanted to throw in there on the side, you could. Or sometimes people like it open to put a trash can on the floor. It's kind of up to you. Right here, let's say I wanted to dimension like from the edge of the base cabinet, I could be dimensioning where this overhang lands. So if I want to be pretty exact here, I could say from the base cabinet, I only want, let's say, a 1-inch overhang. I could do that with dimensions. I could do the same on this side too. We could just reference, we could reference this countertop's overhang. I gotta be careful where I click. And just notice how I'm referencing it. This edge and this edge, and we want that to be 1 inch. Oh, we might have to lock that in real quick. So why don't we do that? I clicked on the dimension button. And where's the lock? There it is. And let's try and dimension this guy then over here. And it's giving me some issues here. When I drag that in, there, I made it equal. Kind of new to reference it that way, but now I can click, drag and reference. There we go. 1 inch, remove constraints. It's giving me a little bit of issues here. I'm not really sure why. I might have to relook at this. There's some constraint on this right now. Usually this doesn't pop up. We can also go up and make it like an equidistant measurements. Not really the point of this right now, so I don't want to bog down this video here. And then we're going to delete that out. Let's check it in 3D. Okay, so do you see what happened here? We have our countertop that came in, not at the comfort height that we changed this cabinet to. So I have this countertop selected, and then all I have to do is its sink location. We can change how high it is. There's an offset that we can go and throw in. So I think we have to go and adjust. It wants to come in at like a default height that was with the same of this cabinet. I think we have to offset it up about 5 inches if I remember correctly. And then now it comes in at the height it needs to be. Oftentimes though, it'll just tell you that like its host level is level 1, it'll come in at the base, and then you change its height off the base level to be like 34.5, and it'll throw it right up top. If you go and make yours 34.5, you just have to offset up 5 inches, and that'll get you to that spot. And then the last thing we have to do is throw in the sink, and then I think I have to center this hole a little bit better. So going back to level 1, this sink hole right here, we can go and we can actually align that a little bit better. If we go in and change its location to more of a center, and we'll see if we can get that to line up a little bit better. That looks good to me. And load family, the sink itself, I believe we have to go to like a plumbing, architectural, fixtures, sinks, and they don't give you a lot of residential sinks, but we can do sink round, 2D. I'd rather get a 3D one, so sink vanity round. Say open. And we also might have to adjust its height. So going down to plumbing, sink vanity round, expand it, drag, and we'll place that. If it's an undermount sink, I have it highlighted. Let's go into 3D. If it's an undermount sink, we can keep it under it. If it's supposed to be overmount, we can put it right on top of this. I'm going to click on this sink, and it's a 5-inch offset with the customization that we made. Say apply. It looks like it's an overmount sink because of the lip on there. If it was undermount, we could just adjust it. If we want to give the impression of an undermount sink, which is a little bit nicer than an overmount, it wipes off the counter easier, we can just go ahead and send that down by like an inch. So we're only going to offset it 4 inches. And then now it gives the impression of an undermount sink. And actually, we might want to send that down like, instead of 4 inches, maybe 3.5. Let's try that. Drop a little bit lower so you can see the whole thickness of that countertop. And that's basically how you set up the bathroom. Upper cabinets would also be in casework. We'll see if we can throw in a medicine cabinet real quick. To do that, you're probably best off referring to a ceiling plan level 1, where you're looking up. And in the ceiling plan, graphic display, we can do something called an underlay. So where we can actually see everything underneath this. So view range, we can kind of edit that view range to look underneath it. Also, there is an underlay option. So let's see if I can find that real quick. Underlay level 1. There we go. So now we can reference what's underneath it. So in the project browser, underlay level 1. In 2018, it's set up this way. It's a little bit different in like 2017. And then insert family. We're going to go to casework. We got to go up. Casework. Wall cabinets. Let's see if we can find an upper cabinet for a medicine cabinet. Single door. I don't know. These might be for kitchens. You might have to download one from Revit City, but we can try one that maybe will work. We can also customize it. So let's just choose like a single door one and say open. And if it's 12 inches deep, that's too deep. 4 inches deep is a medicine cabinet. So we're going to go to our families. And then lastly, casework, upper cabinet, single door, expand that. We'll choose one to be 24 inches wide to match the sink. Yeah, that's a one for a kitchen. So we'll modify this one. We'll go and place that in. It should have placed. Let's try it in 3D. All right, so it's in there. So in the 3D model, we can select it. And then what we got to do here is we need to change the properties to not be so deep. So we're going to change edit type. We're just going to say duplicate, and we're going to rename this 24 medicine cab. And then what we got to do is change its depth from 1 foot. We're going to change that to just 4 inches and say OK. That brings back. And so now here we have a medicine cabinet 4 inches in. Or if you want to make it a little bit more custom, we can go and we can place that back into the wall. So it's like built into the walls. And typically when it's built into the walls, it's 14.5 inches wide, typically, because it fits in between the studs. But they can be customized as well to be 24 if you really wanted to. And if we're going to go and place it into the wall, we'd go into our ceiling plan view, level 1. It's not showing up though. Let's try floor plan. It is showing up in the floor plan, probably because the way Revit wants you to be able to select this without having to go into the ceiling plan. And then we click on move from its center. We can go and place that kind of back into the wall a little bit. And let's see if we can drag it. So Revit's giving us kind of some issues here, some kind of constraint because it's hosted by the wall. So if you want to give the impression then of this cabinet being embedded into the wall, looks like the only option to do is to change its depth to something that's unrealistic, just to give the impression that it's just the framing of it is sticking out of the wall. So if we wanted to give the impression of this, we have to go to edit type again. We would say duplicate, and let's just name it medicine cabinet embedded. And then under the depth, we're going to give it a kind of a false depth of 0.75 and say OK, which is 3/4 of an inch. And then in 3D, it would look like only the framing sticking out which is what an embedded cabinet in a wall would look like. And then we can say, save, and that's everything you need to know for bathroom design. Kitchen design is basically the same way. You're going to throw in all your fixtures. You're going to do your upper cabinets this way. If your upper cabinets aren't showing in ceiling plan, that means that the family file allows it to show in the floor plan. And then you can customize anything you need to customize to make it work the way you want to make it work. Okay, and notice I had to do a combination of floor plan views and 3D views to make everything work with sizes and heights and selections. All right, that's it. That's how you do bathroom design, and you can do kitchen design very, very similarly.